You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. Let's learn a finger-picking version of Count on Me by Bruno Mars. So first we are going to hold a C chord like this, looks like stairs, and then my thumb is going to be assigned to the A string, and then my index and my middle finger are going to be assigned to the B and the G strings. They're never going to move. The thumb is the one that's going to be bouncing around from the different bass strings, but the index and the middle finger, those are going to be the anchors. Now, speaking of anchor, you can take your pinky, I said take your pinky, you can take your pinky and put it right here on top of the guitar, because then that's going to be your anchor. Or sometimes you can actually hook these two fingers underneath your E string, because we're not going to be using it for this finger picking arrangement that I made. So my thumb is first going to pluck the A string, and then my index and my middle, they're going to pluck the G and the B string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that is going to be our intro. 1 and 2 and 3. Oh yeah. And keep going. 1 and 2 and 3. Oh yeah. Now when we get to the verse, we have that same C chord finger picking pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we have an E minor. My thumb is going to move to this E string, but my index and my middle are going to pluck the same strings. And you may be wondering, Katie, well, why are you holding an E minor when you're plucking open strings? What gives? Well, we're not perfect people, and I use that as a safeguard. As long as you have your fingers in the chord, you cannot lose. So let's say I might have a rogue finger. Even though it was a mistake, it actually sounds like I meant to do that. If you leave it open, you're going to have not so much of a happy accident, okay? There's no such thing as mistakes. There are happy accidents, according to Bob Ross, but that one just sounds a little weird. So keep your finger in that E minor, and you will not be able to lose, okay? So we have our C chord first. 1 and 2 and 3 and if you ever 2 and 3. E minor, thumb moves to the E string. Now you have an A minor. My thumb is going to move back to the A string, and I'm going to use that same finger picking pattern. 1 and 2 and then to G. My thumb is now going to move to the E string again. And then you have an F chord. And my thumb is going to move to the D string, but then the two middle and the index, they're going to stay the same. You don't have to necessarily hold a whole F chord like this, bar it. If you leave it open, you're going to be fine. So let's see here. So with the G, you could use this one or this one. It doesn't matter, whatever in your muscle memory. Okay, so A minor. I'll sail the world. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'll sail the world. G, F, to find you. And then we do the same thing for the second half of the verse. 1 and 2 and 3. E minor and 3. I'll be the light to guide you. Now we get to the D minor. You're going to hold a D minor. Your thumb is going to pluck the open D string, but again, that index and that middle finger will not move. 2 and 3 and 4, and they're just going to pluck the same strings as they've always done. Then we go to an E minor. Same thing as we done before. Thumb is going to move to the open E string. And 2 and 3 and 4, and we have an F chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so my thumb is going to be plucking that D string. 2 and 3, and then we have a G chord. We strum and we hold it. 2, 3, 4. But now we arrive at the chorus, and it's pretty awesome because if you learned the verse, you know the chorus because it's the same chords. So if you learned the verse, the pre-chorus, then you really know 95% of the song. So the only thing that we have left to learn is the bridge. We have a D minor, and you're going to use the same finger picking pattern as we used before. Thumb is going to pluck the open D string first, and then middle and index, they're going to pluck those G and those B strings. That's their home base right there. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and move to an E minor. Thumb is going to move to the open E string. And 2 and 3 and 4 and then we have an A minor. Thumb is going to move to the open A string. And then we have a G chord. So my thumb is going to move to the E string. And 2 and 3 and 4 and we do that again, D minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and E minor, 1 and 2 and 3. Now we have an F chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we have the G chord. Strum it, hold it, yeah, yeah, you can. And then we go back into the count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. Like that. If you're looking for a way to learn the guitar the fun, fast, and the stress-free way, and you want just like a really good beginner's foundation, I'm going to link that over here to my guitar course. I made it very affordable so that it could be accessible to anybody. And also I have a video over here that I think you'll enjoy. And I'll see you in the next one. Remember, you are loved. Bye.